Okie doke, folks, let's move on to a new daily pattern at pattern-collections.com. You are going to scroll down to pattern focus to find today's pattern. Oops, almost went too far. Today we do it's called round wedge. Interesting. Okay, so it's a grid. It's definitely a grid pattern, and it looks like in the corner of the first grid piece you're going to make this sort of a U-shape thing. It's got a little bit, you notice it's not straight across like that, it's got a little bit of a curve right there and right here, and then it's a U shape, and then it looks like you do that into the four corners. So just turn your tile and do that same little kind of long U shape into each corner like that, and then continue, do the whole tile like so. And then step 3, it's missing a step. Do this part like that, kind of do like a circle there and go around it. And then step 4, these are flip-flopped somehow, or this is the variation. You can then fill this in right there, leaving a little bit of a margin, and that's when it looks like that, which I find really interesting. So let's just give this a go. I've never tried it before. I've never seen it before. I didn't mention that this is a pattern designed by Silky Wagner. Going to, excuse me, sorry about that. Do my string here like so, and then I'm going to create my grid. I'm going to do it just on 1/2. I'm going to do it on this side. I am going to go ahead and put in the whole border. Like I said, I don't always do that, but with this string I seem to be doing so. I just been drawing the actual whole string, which is fine. I want to divide this into squares about that size, I think. Looks about right. Oh, darn it all. I forgot to unplug the phone. Well, we will just hear the answering machine. Let's see. So in this corner, let me zoom in just a little. And then in this corner, we're going to go slightly curved and then down and around and a slight curve. I'm going to turn my tile. And turn my tile. And turn my tile. Like that. And then connect those, make my curve, connect those, down and around with a slight curve. And here, come around and connect those two together. So far, so good. I told you guys that my knee hurt. I went to the, decided to go to the urgent care this morning. It's too hard to get into a primary physician, so I just went to urgent care. Decided, you know, it's been hurting for 4 or 5 days now. So I wanted to make sure I was doing the right thing. See if they wanted me to, if it was more urgent than that. It's not. It is what I thought it was. Basically, it's a strain or a sprain of some sort. At least we hope so. She said that based on the amount of pain that I am reporting, it doesn't seem that it's a tear. She says I should be in a lot more pain than I'm in for a tear. But I do have a pretty high tolerance for pain, so. But if it doesn't get better in a couple of weeks, because it could take 4 to 6 weeks for a sprain to get completely well, and or if it starts to get hurt more, if it's not getting better, if it gets worse in any way, to then make an attempt to get into my primary doctor, which is not always easy. But that it's not an emergency, it's not urgent, it's just uncomfortable. And to continue to do what I've been doing, resting and putting my foot up, my knee up, and wrapping it in the ace bandage and putting on ice, and I can now alternate between ice and heat. And that's it. That's the extent of what's going on with my knee. So you guys could give me a little bit of prayer, a little good vibes. I would appreciate it. Really hoping it's nothing more serious. A tear would be just awful. I just, yeah. A tear would be awful. Because a tear has to be repaired by surgery if possible. And that's just something I would not want to have happen. This is really quite interesting. It's making a very unique sort of X grid pattern. I really like it, and it's because it's got this little bit of a curve in it and this roundy, it's making a sort of a organic-ish shape even within the grid, which I find fascinating. And I think what I might do is over here on this side, I will make a pencil grid and I'll draw it so that we don't see this cross piece, and see how that looks different. And this one, like that. And then you would see, what would you see here? Here you would see that part and that part like that. Okay. So there's that step. And then let's do this sort of interior step, which is, let me look at it really close, which is kind of just a loose, kind of a square, and dot in the middle, kind of like that. Something in that order. And maybe I won't do all of them that way. Maybe I'll just do some of them that way. Maybe one over here. One over here. Like that. And I think I'm going to put just the dots in all of them. So, yeah, I think I need to just do some of them. I don't know why I feel like I only want to do some of them, but for some reason I feel like I only want to do some of them. Okay, I'm going to do a different scale, bigger. Here. Like so. And I'm just gonna you're not gonna see the pencil. I'm gonna do it without, I'll erase that. So in this corner, I'm gonna do them this way. Do I want them that way? Which way do I want them? I want them this way. Like that. Yeah. Like that. And then this one, I'm going to fill in this middle part. We'll see. It is one scorching day today here. It's over 100 degrees today, and it's going to be again tomorrow. Yeah, it's not fun weather. I'm just thankful for air conditioning. I'm trying not to make it too cool in here. I don't want to overdo. I don't want to waste electricity. So I've got the air set at 80. comfortable. It's not super cool, but it's comfortable. It's way better than outside, that's for darn sure. So I'm good with that. I like this. So far so good. I like it. Oh, I was gonna look. Pardon me for just a second. I'm going to go into my marker box. Nope. When I was out and about today, I should have stopped. I forgot that I was going to stop and look for gray markers. I don't have any other than those Faber-Castell brush pens, which are not exactly what I want to use, but I want to do this behind here, but I want it to be in gray. Well, I don't know how I'm going to do that just yet. Fill in this part though. I'm saying big prayers for the firefighters out on the fire lines. Day after we left Big Bear, a fire started up there. They are not evacuating, at least at this moment, they're not evacuating anybody from the cities. They have closed a lot of roads and hiking areas and things. I'm hoping that there were no camping, hikers up in the mountains, that everybody's safe. As of this afternoon, they were only at a 10% containment, so they've got a long way to go to fight this fire. So I'm praying for those firefighters, especially in this heat. Okay, I want to erase that string so you don't see those cross pieces. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I want the gray. So let me decide which gray I want to use. I think I want to use, this time I think I'm going to use the cold gray. I used the warm gray last time. I think I'm going to use the cold gray this time. And I'm just going to kind of do like such. I think I want that filled. Yeah. Something like that. Interesting. I like it. I think I need more over here though. I was gonna leave it with, no, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring this gray in to this other side, but I want the next darker. Which one is it? This is warm gray. No, I want the cold gray. That's warm gray. That's cold gray, that's cold gray, that's warm gray. Okay. Oh, I used the middle one. I thought I was using the lightest one and I used the middle one. So, do I want to use the darker one or do I want to use the lightest one? Good question. Since I used the middle one, which is not what I thought I was using, that's what happens when you rely on just the little button on the end instead of looking at the whole barrel. I want the dark one. I heard you guys yelling at me. Some of you were yelling, use the light one, and some of you were yelling, use the dark one. I went with the dark one. Because I want to do this. So I do want it darker. I'm just going to be very gentle. So I want to leave a little bit of that white. It's harder to do with the brush tip marker though. These are kind of fat. Just being gentle. Like that. Yep. That's what it needed. It needed a little contrast, but I didn't really want black for some reason. Today, I'm not feeling that. More in a gray mood, I guess. So tomorrow I get to go pick up my vehicle. They found the vacuum hose that was leaking and making it go whoo all the time. That was driving me nuts. You know, there are just some noises that drive you nuts. That one was really driving me crazy. So it would be nice to drive my vehicle when it doesn't go whoo during the entire drive. And then we'll swap out cars. That poor, well, not the poor mechanic, this is their job. They enjoy having a lot of work to do. It's their livelihood. But, so we're taking another car in. So I'm just going to swap vehicles. And get the windshield wiper fixed. Luckily, that doesn't need much walking on my knee. Of course, I'm not getting a whole lot of steps in on my Fitbit, but that's okay. Sometimes you have to just use caution with your body. And healing is more important than some sort of step count. Although I am thinking, because it's so darned hot, I am seriously considering, since I have this week off for vacation, I'm seriously considering looking up the pool hours, the public pool, and going in and getting a little exercise that is not going to hurt my knee by going in the pool instead. Seriously thinking about that for tomorrow. I'll have to find out what I know they have hours for Adult Swim where the kids aren't allowed in the pool. They're pretty early though. Oh, I will have to look that up. think it's like from 7 to 8 a.m. or something like that. Okay. I like it. You guys like it? I like it. I'm gonna put a little regular graphite on here and give it some shading. I think. Trying to decide which is in front of which. I think this is in front of that. That's in front of that like that. Give it a blend and see what that does. If I don't like it, I can always erase it. No, I think that's correct. Listening to my tile, letting it tell me. I could have done either way. If I shaded on this side of the line, then this one would have been on top and that one would have been behind. But I think this one's behind. And then this needs something. And let me decide what it needs. Maybe just that side of those, of the ones that I didn't put the stripes in. Like that. See what that does. Okay, that's good. Put a little bit right there. All right, is that done? I think so. I think it's gonna live that way. Sign it, put the name. Excuse me, my thing turned off on me here. Round Wedge. String number 37. All right, there we go. That was a pretty good little pattern. I really enjoyed drawing it. And you could embellish it in various ways. Don't feel like you're stuck in following exactly the pattern. You see, I did it in different ways. So yeah, that would be fun. You could even do radiating lines this way, you know, here, instead of doing this part like that, you could do them radiating. That would make it look different as well. Or I don't know, you could do all sorts of things. I really like it. Okay, you guys have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. Go out and do something nice for somebody today. Even if all it is saying something nice on somebody's YouTube video. Doesn't have to be mine, could be anyone's, because that is making somebody's day a better place. You guys have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.